Hey, Brad.
Hey, Freddie. Great to see you again. Great to hear your voice.
Oh yeah, I really apologize for the difficulties. I've been trying for about 20 minutes to,
Oh,
and for some reason I've been listening to all of you talking, but I couldn't join. It finally allowed me the panel or the little screen where I could join as a panelist.
well, good. I'm
So
glad that worked out.
yeah,
And
so we
trust
got it worked out.
yeah, yeah. Difficulties happen to me as well, and we do this every week. So it's
Yeah.
the way it goes. But
Well, I'm
anyway,
just so happy. I'm so happy to be on here with you.
yeah, I was just telling the story of being up there in Deadwood, South Dakota with you, and you know
Right.
talking with you and everything, and all of a sudden learning about the Royal Enfield program and the Build Train Race and how that's going. And as you were telling me about this, I mean, my mind just started swirling about what a perfect story this is for a race industry week. I think you can probably describe
Right.
exactly what it is better than I can.
Well, yes, thank you, and thank you to everyone else on the program. I'm glad to be on here with all of you. My our Build Trade Race program is sponsored by the motorcycle manufacturer, Indian motorcycle manufacturer, Royal Enfield, and it was created about 6 years ago. And it started out as pretty really basic amateur, where they selected 12 riders. They had 12 women riders. It's an all women's program, and basically what they wanted to do is to create motorcyclists, to give riders an opportunity to race, but the racing is not really the critical part. It's not the ultimate goal. It's the icing on the cake, but it's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is the team building, is allowing them to learn and to progress and to understand and become better motorcyclists, better, safer motorcyclists. And so it's called Build Train Race because the build process, we start in February. We're, in fact, now in the selection process for 6 new riders for next season because it's a 2-year program. Um, and so how it starts is that at the build process, you get a brand new motorcycle. If you're it's your first year, and it's given to them, is turned over to them. And so all the work that they learn from professional mechanics during the build process, when they're turning a basic production bike into a race bike with race parts like exhaust system, we upgrade the brake system, the wheels. They get to do their own paint scheme. We provide that for them. They can whatever wild colors they want to do, whatever they want to do. It's their motorcycle, and we teach them how suspension works, and we teach them how to work with the motorcycle and not be intimidated by that process. Respect it, but to really understand it and understand how it works. And then once we get the bikes built, 3 weeks later, we'd go through a training, 3 days of training that I'm involved and I ride with them, and that's my favorite thing. I love to teach, and I teach them how a motorcycle works and how to work with the motorcycle and get the most out of it, and also to understand what it needs for you to be able to do the best job you possibly can. And it becomes a part of you and becomes, it's, and you can appreciate this being around NASCAR and hearing NASCAR drivers talk about, when they work with the car, they can anticipate it movements before it happens. And that's what you have to learn to be, is open-minded, very, everything happening now affects what happens in the next split second. And so really being, again, open-minded, and your vision and your physical comfort level has to improve, and that's the training process. And then we go right into the race season. We have 4 race weekends at MotoAmerica, 2 races per weekend, and it's 8 races for the championship. And and like I always tell them, is once you're part of BTR, you always be part of BTR, and they become friends and teammates, and um, They're just really become very special.
Yeah, what I love about this, it's so much more than just a rider search, and it's
Right.
social media around it too, but the build side of it too, to hear, these women talk about, here's one of them. I think maybe I took the back tire off my Ninja once, or my dad was a mechanic, and usually I ask him,
Right.
he kind of helps me too. Yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I can dive right in. The next thing a week later, they're sitting there hacksawing parts of the frame off and changing things and
Oh yeah.
it's what
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole process is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the joy that they get out of knowing that they can do it, they can do it themselves. And that's why when I took it over, I hired professional mechanics and made it to where we go to one workshop and we do it together. Everything we do together. From the beginning to the end, we eat together. We go through the highs and lows together, and it really becomes you become part of something. And I think that's what I love about our sport. It's what I love about motorsports in general is the community. It's I've been in doing this for 59 years. I'm showing my age now. I'll be 64 in December, and I've been riding a motorcycle since I was 4. And so I've been doing this for well, going on 60 years now. And the great moments that I shared with my dad when I was a kid, riding in my yard and doing 40 weekends a year on flat tracking and road racing as I was growing up as a teenager. When my dad was at the end of his life and we knew it, and we spent 3 great days together. We never talked once about the world championship. It was always about riding in the van and the ice chest in the middle and just those great moments that I shared. And same thing with my crew chief in the world championships and the relationships that you build. And I think that's one of the great things about motorsports and the competition and what it allows people to reach their dreams and their achievements, but at the same time develop the relationships.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, and I want to get into the writing side and the teaching side and things like that, but how much of this and how important is it to racing, the character building side of it? Because
Oh,
who you are.
yeah, absolutely. And well, in fact, we choose people that don't have much experience. They maybe have done some track days or two. We added two international riders for this past season that we just finished, and we're adding two more for next season. So we'll have four from Brazil. Um, the two that we added this year had never raced before. And so they had been on track days and they had some experience, but they didn't really have any racing experience. And that's fine because racing builds character. It just does. And you go through struggles and we've all done it. I've done it in my career. I was very fortunate to win 3 world championships and raced at the very elite level and had a lot of success. But I mean, as anybody that's done it and does it for a long time knows, I mean, there's more struggle than there is success, and it's how you deal with that is where the character comes from. And I had two riders each on the last 2 seasons that when they started out, the fear they had and just notched the unsureness, the lack of confidence, and then you see them grow through that and they improve. And achievement is in the eye of the beholder. It's not about winning. It's about doing the best that you can and learning from that. And that's what we were able to provide in this program. I've told you, I haven't mentioned it yet, but there's no cost. I mean, basically, we provide everything. They just have to show up. We have Alpine Stars as our sponsor, Rye Helmets, and we're really the only program in the whole world that does that. That really provides a full opportunity um, at no cost to learn everything you possibly can learn, and that through motorcycling you can be taught and racing.
hmm Let's talk about the machines, and Royal Enfield's investment and commitment to this. It's not like, you took a 350 single and put them on that. These are
No,
650 twin engines. I mean, these are really nice motorcycles.
they are. They're the GT 650 Continental and the Interceptor. We have two programs. One is on asphalt, one is on dirt. It's two separate teams, two separate sets of riders. Um, and what's amazing is Royal Enfield is one of the fastest growing manufacturers in the world. I just got back from India. I was there for 2 weeks with them at their GT 650 Cup Race Championship at the last race that they had near Goa. And then we did Motoverse, which is their big show. And the amazing thing that Royal Enfield has really hit upon is how to attract younger riders through simplicity of motorcycles, the lack of electronics on the bike, the lack of the technical tools. That there's a purity of riding a Royal Enfield that is somewhat lost in a lot of the modern bikes today, and the cost and the cost to be able to buy a GT 650 is reasonable, half the cost of something that maybe is from the other Japanese manufacturers. And but the bike is it's not a lot of horsepower or not too much horsepower. It's about 50 or so, about 50, 52 horsepower. And but it's a very nice platform, for them to learn on.
It really is. The training aspect of it, and motorcycle training is nothing new to you. You had your own school for many, many years and have trained a lot of riders for sure. When you start to train someone to race, what's more important, or what do you see as a common thing? Is it trying to unlearn a bad habit or learn a new good habit, or somewhere in between?
Well, what I look for, I can look at I pretty much after I retired from racing, and you and I talked about this. Well, I retired in 1995 after 29 years of being an amateur and professional and racing in the World Championships for 12 seasons. It was like I knew I wanted to give back to the sport in some way. And that was through starting my riding school that I based in Las Vegas Motor Speedway for 11 years. And it wasn't for racers. I started the school for the average rider, just the average person that wants to go out and enjoy the sport of motorcycling, and for me to be able to give them what I learned through racing that will help them become a better and safer rider, and more importantly, a comfortable rider, someone that is has the willingness to work through the the natural fear. I mean, motorcycling can be dangerous. We know that. Any high performance activity or sport can be dangerous. The key is understanding the techniques that will allow you to be able to work through the fear factor so you can ride comfortable, and then that allows your mind to be able to anticipate what's going to happen and have a better opportunity to react in the best possible way with the correct techniques. So when I look for riders in that long-winded what I just explained about, but that's what I look for. I can talk to someone, Brad, in 5 minutes and tell you and know what I'll be able to teach them. And through their attitude and just their disposition and the way that they seem to understand what the process is going to be. And it is a process. I promised each of our of participants when they start the program, when the 6 new riders come, and I see them that first Tuesday at the build process, the first week of February. I always tell them, I always say, I said, I promise you, you trust us. You trust us in this build process. You trust us in the training process. And after 2 years, you will be your own teacher. You will be able to understand what you need to do and what you're doing, and to be able to feel what's right and what's wrong. And but that, that takes people that are willing to put aside ego, pride, all of those things, and be open to learn that. And so that's what I look for in someone is a willingness. You know, I can I'm I'm more willing to help someone that doesn't have, it's not about natural ability, but has the desire to want to learn.
I like that, and I like the whole philosophy of when you leave this, you'll be able to be your own teacher. That's pretty.
Right.
The racing itself is pretty compelling, Freddie, with the Build Trade
Yes.
program. These women really get after it, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And they're inspiring. They really are. They inspire me. And that's something that makes it to where, for me, being in it for so long, being in the sport, is getting that inspiration, um and desire to is is what really makes it fulfilling for me. And they go out and want to get better each and every time, and they work hard on their bikes, and they work hard in the process. And I'm at every event. I go to every race now that I'm not a chairman of the stewards panel in MotoGP like I was for 6 years. So I'm able to go to every BTR event. And during the event, we're working constantly on their techniques and what they're facing and how to learn a racetrack, and how to, again, solve their own problems. That's my goal. My goal is to help teach them to become their own teacher and analyzer of what they're doing. The really fulfilling thing, Brad, is when you get after that first few months, or the first year, and certainly after the second year, and they say that it has allowed them to be able to do things better in other parts of their life. That is really fulfilling. Is when, understanding their confidence and their trust in their own judgment, because that's what it takes to ride a motorcycle at its potential, at any level, whether you're an amateur or whether you're just a national level, or certainly if you're a world caliber rider. It's about having that trust in your judgment to be able to commit to that corner, to be able to commit to that process. Um, if not, you're not going to be successful.
hmm You mentioned being chairman of the stewards panel for MotoGP. The Build Train Race program is part of the MotoAmerica schedule as well. As we mentioned, Freddie, you've been involved in motorcycle racing ever since you've been involved in motorcycle racing. It's not like you ever stepped away. Really feels like that pendulum is swinging in the direction of a rapidly growing popularity in two-wheeled racing. What have you seen over the last few years?
Well, one of the things that MotoGP has done is it's reached, we saw it in Formula One. We saw that Formula One struggled in getting a foothold here in the United States for years. It was considered an elite sport that was basically a European sport. And then when Liberty Media bought it in the mid 2000s, 2000, I believe 16, they bought Formula One. They developed this series with Amazon called Drive to Survive, and it really catapulted Formula One into the stratosphere of attracting the normal viewer and a new viewer and a younger viewer. And we're seeing a little bit of that in MotoGP. Liberty Media has now bought MotoGP. They own 86%. And in fact, I'm involved in the process along with Bill Burr, the comedian Bill Burr, and Mike Talon, which is a media company, and putting together a equivalent to like a Drive to Survive for MotoGP. And we're pitching that as we speak with MotoGP again to kind of to ride the coattails of that, and Liberty Media is really interested in promoting MotoGP and to a new audience and a bigger audience, and that has a knockdown effect. MotoAmerica is doing incredible. They're setting record crowds for the last couple of seasons, and I think with video games, I think with newer audiences, there's just an interest in the sport, and it is, of course, I'm biased, it's one of the things I think that made NASCAR so successful. It's so competitive, and the racing is dynamic, and it's challenging and exciting. And MotoGP and motorcycle racing in its way is also the same thing. We've always been, the sport that is certainly in the United States, the motorsport that was kind of at the bottom of the pendulum, but we're seeing it growing, and so it's exciting, and we're hoping by exposing, and getting it out to a wider audience will help it grow, kind of what happened like with Formula One. That's the goal.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Well, Freddie, look, we could sit here and tell stories for a while, so we're going to have you back at some point and talk
Absolutely.
about a lot of you and your career. But the Royal Enfield Build Train Race is such an amazing program, and I would encourage people just to get plugged in with it and follow along with what you guys are doing. I think it's just an awesome thing, and Royal Enfield's commitment and everything that you're doing to help move it forward is just pretty amazing. So thank you for sharing that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Brad. You can go on YouTube, you can go on social media and see what our program is about, and I hope people enjoy it. And again, I apologize for the little problems we had getting on here, but I'm so happy to have been on the show with you.
Thank you.
Proud to have you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, we want to thank you for watching. Now, be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the bell so you're always up to date with the latest racing technology, industry insights, and exclusive content from EPARTRADE. In racing, every second counts. This is EPARTRADE, the premier business-to-business platform for the performance and racing industry. We connect buyers and suppliers 24/7 worldwide. Racing never stops, neither do we. Discover cutting-edge products and services from around the globe, gaining insights from our live platform, daily newsletters, weekly webinar series, and our highly anticipated annual Race Industry Week. EPARTRADE.com. The racing industry, every minute, every day.
Let's go, boys.
How many kings have we got racing today? All of them.
All of us.
I got nothing to lose.
As you can see, we've had another beautiful day on the Isle of Man. We'll do some racing this weekend. It's going to be a blast.
ARP, the ultimate fasteners for whatever you build. To get the best performance, always follow ARP's installation instructions included with the product. For the latest torque specs, go to arpinstructions.com.
When it comes to pushing the limits of performance, the pros know there's no room for compromise. At Crowder Cams, we don't just engineer camshafts and valve train components, we redefine what power means. Since 1955, Crowder Cams has been the name trusted by racers, engine builders, and gearheads around the globe. Whether you're building a street machine, a dragster, or a track car, Crowder Cams provides the muscle you need to dominate. And with Crowder, victory is within your reach.
Not all trailer cabinets are built for the long road ahead. Aluminum Econo trailer cabinets from C-Tech Manufacturing are engineered to last and ready to ship today. Each Econo cabinet is packed with exclusive features like motion latch drawers and gasket lock countertops, all made under one roof in our Wisconsin headquarters. Shop Econo online today.
If you're watching this video, you might be wondering, what is WPC? WPC is a surface treatment designed to reduce friction and increase the strength of metal parts. As much as it might seem like a coating, WPC is actually a surface treatment. Think of it like shot painting, but the media is much finer, like talc. So what you're left with is a super hard, smooth surface that actually has some proprietary dry lubricants embedded within it. For more information, visit WPCtreatment.com.
Scott Lewis & Associates, the sales, marketing, and branding specialist for the automotive performance industry since 1988. We get our manufacturers on track by opening an extensive distribution network, providing product training to sales staff, creating fully integrated sales and marketing strategies, building successful industry partnerships, attending trade shows, events, and races, offering first-class support to customers. SLAI delivers solutions that win you sales. To get in touch with an SLAI representative, call 516-378-6100. Go to scottlewisinc.com or email info@scottlewisinc.com.
With roots in the Midwest that date back well before the Model T, Fifth Third Bank has a long history of serving the needs of automotive companies. While much has changed over the years, our passion for helping businesses put cars on the road and on the track has not. Today, we are more committed than ever as a member of SEMA, a founding member of PRI, and a sponsor of multiple race teams across several racing series.
For over a decade, Fifth Third Bank has been a staunch supporter of our industry and a great partner for many companies in the motorsports field.
Our business has been growing extremely fast, and really we could not be where we are today without Fifth Third. They provided amazing strategic advice, the capital we need to support our phases of growth.
They are true partners for me now, and what they do with their involvement in motorsports is untouched in this community.
Where can we take your business? Fifth Third Bank.
Your whole day rides on your diesel truck. Don't let anything slow it down. Keep life and drive with America's #1 DEF brand. Only Blue DEF products are triple filtered and guaranteed pure. And Blue DEF Platinum helps prevent deposits before they create problems. So nothing stands between you and the day, wherever it takes you. Count on Blue DEF and Blue DEF Platinum. Guaranteed for what drives you.